Hyperphantasia, a downside. Hyperphantasia is the ability for an individual to create highly graphic images in his or her mind's eye. I didn't know I was hyperphantasic until near the end of my 30s, and I'm still happy to not be, as this is a self-diagnosis, but it seems the most fitting description so far of what goes on in my mind. I thought everyone was afflicted like me, that they had constant images in mind, memories coming back out of nowhere, replays of movies watched or a rerun of conversations had, and similarly running through future events and conversations that were yet to happen, creating anxieties of possible outcomes of things that would come. It wasn't until I explained these thoughts to my husband that we started to notice a difference in thought process, way beyond being a man and a woman, and after we discovered he is aphantasic, it made me realise that I might not be thinking like everyone else. In fact, it made me think no one is thinking the same at all. It explained a lot of things I had been looking for an answer to. I spent a lot of time in my own company as a child, despite having siblings. I have always been quite able to entertain myself, having many hobbies and keeping my brain as occupied as I can. I was constantly thinking, scheming, planning and analysing. This hasn't changed. Phobias, it seems though, were very set too, and being able to hyper-visualise has made my fears never go away. Now I know why, I am not so hard on myself, believing it's not actually my fault. But for years I couldn't work out why certain images wouldn't go away. Why did things stay with me for so long? Movies, articles, experiences, books, any input could come back at any time out of the blue. I've learned to control them mostly now, but it's been hard work. The one that stuck and commandeered my childhood was Jaws. I know I am very much not alone with that one, but it made me wonder if this is part of the reason and differences between us that make some people have phobias and others not. Some people like horror and are scared by it, others not, and potentially allow some people to identify better with others or be more susceptible to fear. I suspect this may be why some people are prime subjects for being hypnotised. If someone can picture what you are saying, does that help? But my nemesis was Jaws. Watched around 8 or 9 years old, I think, it stayed with me. It imprinted in my brain and resurfaced often. My grandparents had a swimming pool and used to take us on holiday, to where there would always be a pool. I couldn't escape it, but it was so bad that for the first year after watching, I refused to have a bath and would only use the crappy push-on shower head. My brain took it further, you see. It created a mini Jaws that could come up the plug hole and then turn into a big shark. It took me about a year to get a grip on that. I just had to suck it up and deal with it. Then it became a weird family joke that I was terrified of sharks, and I just accepted it as that. A weird thing that didn't bother most people. I must be the odd one out. I still have it. When living in Spain for a couple of years, I had a pool with a rented property as it was part of the dream. But within 2 days of trying to enjoy a swim, it came back. I couldn't help visualising a shark, in the water, at the bottom in the dark where I couldn't quite see. I was in my late 30s by this point. I felt like an idiot. But it was the same with swimming pools back then. I would focus on the filter, thinking it would come through there, and would quicken my pace. Swimming wasn't fun anymore after becoming an extended anxiety attack each time. Although, on the plus side, I did win a bronze medal for backstroke in the cadet championships because I was thinking of sharks. But for having a healthy relationship with water, it did nothing. By now understanding that my brain can latch on to anything it likes and I can't control what stays and what goes, I'm being more careful about what I read and watch. Hyperphantasia has led me to understand a bit more about why I am different from others, and has made me realise that each person is more unique than I had given them credit for.